This is Hans Hansen with Starboard TCN, and welcome to our video podcast for May 2012. Today I'm interviewing Mort Rothman, one of our senior agents here at Starboard, a native San Franciscan. Welcome, Mort.
Well, thank you, Hans.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. So, Mort, a little bit first about your background. You're a native San Franciscan. Tell us about how you got into the real estate business.
Well, I was been in the clothing business for many years, and when we decided to go out of the clothing business, I decided, since our family has always owned property and I've been managing property, that the real estate business would be a logical transition for me to go into.
So you got in when? You got in the...
1983.
1983. And then you joined Starboard in 1997, I guess?
Yes, that's right.
1997. So Mort, right now the hot district is the Potrero Hill, South of Market area, Mission Bay, and also an area known as Dogpatch. And you've worked down there, you own property down there. What is the Dogpatch?
Well, nobody really knows how it got its name. Some say it's because a wild pack of dogs used to inhabit that area. Someone else said because at that time Little Abner was very popular, and he lived in a dog patch, which is a little funky neighborhood, and that this area resembled it. So we don't really know, but that's as close as I could come.
So the Dogpatch, I'm sure, has changed because you now have a light rail system there. But more importantly, how has AT&T Park affected the Dogpatch area?
Well, I think it has a substantial effect because AT&T Park and Mission Bay started around the same time, and I think like AT&T was really the basis for Mission Bay. And as that area has expanded, the logical move would be to the south to what's now Dogpatch.
So in terms of the light rail, how has that impacted the area? Obviously now that light rail is going all the way down to Sunnyside, close to Candlestick Park at this point. How has it affected the Dogpatch specifically?
Well, I think it's had a substantial effect. People can come from all over the city and work in Dogpatch and be relatively close to their place of employment. Business people can go anywhere in the city from there. There's going to be a new extension to the rail system, which will go from Dogpatch to downtown San Francisco. And that again is going to be a substantial effect.
With the explosive growth of Mission Bay, how is this going to impact Dogpatch?
Oh, I think we'll have a substantial effect since there is not too many places for Mission Bay to expand on the north. It really has to move south, and Dogpatch is the logical place for it to grow.
So regarding the necessary services to support an area like Dogpatch, if in fact it is going to grow, you need those retail services that are there. Explain to me, the impact of the Eastern Neighborhood Zoning District. You've got these various district zoning, UMU and PDRs. How is this going to impact the area?
Well, I think if you look at the plan, the master plan of the Eastern Neighborhood, you'll notice a lot of buildings are zoned UMU, which means a very flexible zoning. It could be anything. It could be office, it could be retail, it could be industrial or residential. I think you are going to see more residential coming into that area because, again, that's a logical place for it to go. And if you look past Dogpatch, you're going to see no UMU zoning. Everything is basically industrial zoned. So that's where it's going to stop. So I think that's what will happen. I think you'll see more office coming into that area too, probably like high-tech, biotech uses.
So with the other zoning, PDR, production, repair, zoning, you're not allowed to have office there, correct? So there are going to be blocks where you're going to have development of residential, but you could also leave what's there industrial. So it's going to be definitely a mixed community there, correct?
That's what I think will happen.
So in regards to the Eastern Neighborhood Zoning District, which impacts the Dogpatch area, in that zoning you have different classification zonings that could be more liberal in terms of development of certain properties, and others are more restrictive. UMU, as my understanding, is more favorable to a landlord and also to development. And then a PDR, which is production, repair, and distribution, that pretty much disallows any of these other uses. So what do you see the scope of the way the neighborhood will turn in the next few years in terms of, are you going to see, residential next to an industrial property and next to a residential next to an industrial? Is it going to be that kind of look and feel for that Dogpatch area?
I think somewhat. I think you are gonna see more residential, more, well, let's say for better use of the term, tech office buildings coming up. I've noticed, and then I think you're gonna see some retail also. You notice you go around 22nd Street, you're starting to see some pretty good restaurants. And I think that trend is gonna continue.
Well, no question that the Mission Bay and Dogpatch area has probably the best weather in San Francisco. So it does have that in terms of attracting people that want to live there. It's a far cry from the windy tunnels of some of the other parts of the city.
Yeah, that's right.
So Mission Bay is feeding into the Dogpatch area. And right now the Dogpatch area is starting to see it generally improve, and you're starting to see a lot of tech firms looking at the Dogpatch pretty seriously. So where do we go from here in terms of the district? What happens next?
Well, I think we go south. I think the up to the Bayview, I think, is going to improve. That people will be upgrading their property.
So what you're basically saying is from an investment point of view, now time to look further down towards the Bayview.
I think so.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mort. We appreciate you being part of our video podcast today, and that ends our podcast for May. If you're interested in learning more about the Dogpatch, feel free to call us here at Starboard. If you're looking for commercial properties, please visit us at our website at www.starboardnet.com or call us at 415-765-6900. This is Hans Hansen, President of Starboard. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to our video podcast. Thank you.